So for some reason, there's this narrative that the card collector is just like an older middle-aged man,
Hmm.
and that's it. And that could not be further from the case. I mean, it's, you know, people of all ages. Now, there are a lot of, older men. There are not a lot of women, but I mean, it's growing.
Is there anybody there?
What's up, Deadhead Crew, and welcome to part two of my conversation with Ashley on card collecting. That's right, Val and I, we talk card collecting with our good friend, and yeah, we're going to finish this conversation, and then, of course, you guys already know, we're going to do our famous, not so famous questions, and then we are trying to figure out whether or not Val is going to pick up another hobby. Don't blame me. It wasn't my fault this time. But guys, without further ado, I'll give you the episode.
Earlier, when you said when you go to these card shows, you'll go through like the box of cards that go for, or at least are marked for $1. Do you feel like, or a lot of, do you feel like hopefully you get lucky that maybe like a card collector or somebody who has this box doesn't know the real value of these cards, and one of those could be worth way more than $1, or are those usually like dollar type cards and you just buy them because it's fun to buy them?
Really, it just depends. Me personally, like I buy them because it's fun. Like I don't go into a show looking to come out making more money or
Mm-hmm.
anything. Like when I like my husband will look through my cards and he'll be like, "Why did you buy a Howard Johnson card?" I'm like, "Well, because look at it. It's cool." He's like, "Yeah, but it's Howard Johnson." I was like, "I only paid $1 for it." He's like, "I wouldn't have paid 10 cents for it." It's just, like it's just about what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that there are people like that though that go in, even if it's just they bought it for $1 and they can sell it for $2 or they can sell it for $3. I mean, it's just sometimes you run across that, but a lot of times you run across someone who has $1 card, they want to sell it for $5.
It's funny because and it's in the same household that the two of you have totally different views on what it's like to be a card collector, right? You're doing it for the love of the collecting of the cards. Like you like it's like, you know what? I like this card. I don't care how much it's worth. If it's worth
Mm-hmm.
$1 or 10 cents, you like it. Your husband, on the other hand, is like, no, this, I'm getting it because it's worth this much. And I'm sure he has in his vast collection of cards some very nice, expensive cards.
Yeah, he was actually given um a Michael Jordan autographed, like it was like a set of um what is it called? It's like a relic. So when you it was put all together in a frame, it made the Tar Heel
Yeah.
logo and it has his autograph on it. Um I wouldn't say he collects for the value, but he's definitely not one that's gonna buy just any old card. Like it has to be somebody he collects or he's
Not
not
gonna
buying
do it.
it.
See, I'm afraid to get into card collecting. I'm terrified because I know what that will lead to. You know what I mean? You start small, and all of a sudden, my wife is having me sleep in my car because I got way too much junk. So we're not doing that.
Uh,
I
Yeah,
want to. Trust
it
me.
just depends. Like who is your favorite player, would you say?
Clemente.
Yeah, well, yeah. You'd be in the car real fast.
So let me ask you this: from the moment that you started collecting to now, 2025, right?
Mhm.
How has, in your opinion, the card collecting market, the whole thing, how has it changed for you?
Oh, it's interesting to really sit back and think about it. Because like when I started, it felt like something that was just very, very small.
Hmm.
And even back then it wasn't small, but for some reason, like it just felt like it was. And then, when everybody was at home, kind of did the same thing that I did, whether they were collectors when they were kids and then they kind of got back into it because they were looking for something to do, it just exploded and it just grew from there.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've
So
been seeing it a lot more on the internet now. So I'm like wondering if it was just like almost overnight.
it felt that way. Seriously. I mean, one day we were buying whatever we wanted to out of Walmart or Target, where they have all the cards and stuff. And then the next day you couldn't find anything. Like the shelves were completely empty and they stayed empty for months.
It's such a weird thing, right? Like, just collecting overall, not just card collecting, but like anything. We have a mutual friend, Patrick, Larson, shout out to Patrick Larson, right? Like, I mean, my man, he has I guess like probably well over 2,000 hats.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about like the fitted hats. And you're like, my man, that's something that good for him,
That is so fair to say. Cause I sometimes I'll rewatch his aviators video because it's just because I'm from Vegas, so like why don't I have 10 Las Vegas aviator hats? Why does he have 10 Las Vegas aviators?
Because it's Patrick Larson.
Live here.
I love that guy. Love him. MLB Head History. You guys got to follow him. He does a video every day. Well, yeah, every week about a minor league team that he has like a gazillion hats of. So
teams I've never heard of.
Yeah,
and I've heard of a lot of teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've been doing this for a while now, right? Yeah. And I know a lot of minor league teams, and all of a sudden I'm like, I had no idea that team had that. Have you ever? You kind of said no, but I want to know. It's like, have you ever flipped a card for profit, or is it just that you don't have that much of that?
Yeah. So there were two really that come to mind that were a profit. So Zion Williamson's rookie card, I bought it out of a $40 box, and I think I sold it for $1,200, maybe.
That's
and then
nice.
Trey Lance, so same thing kind of with Trey Lance, except for while it was off getting graded, he got hurt. So it went from a like $1,500 card to a $200 card.
Yikes.
Yeah. But it was still a profit because it was,
This has always been something on my mind, especially now that I've been seeing the world of card collecting growing. When someone says like their rookie card is worth like this much, how many copies of those rookie cards is it really just there's really only one rookie card made? Because there's millions of packs sold. So is it just millions of packs with, that's it, one rookie card, good luck, whoever finds it, and they make the money if they want to sell it?
No. So, there's a good amount of rookie cards out there. Where the money comes in and the rarity comes in is when you have like the prisms or their silvers, or it has like a short print where it's just slightly different than the others. That's where all the money comes in, and like the rarity for the rookie cards. But people have strong feelings about the players and their rookie cards, so I don't.
It's just wild because it's like, here's a rookie card with a patch, from his jersey and all that, and it's going for stupid amount of money. You know what I mean? That like how can you? And again, I just don't know, right? I'm not really involved in that world as much as other ones are. Like how do you determine the price, right? Like because it's such a arbitrary number, really. You know what I mean?
It's what the collector is willing to pay for it. So with the skeins, it's whoever the skeins collector is out there that is willing to pay the money for it. That's how much they kind of set the market.
And there was, for the skeins frenzy that just occurred, there was only one Paul Skeens rookie card out there printed, right?
So there was one of his, I think it was his debut patch or something, but that card was a 1 of 1, so it had like 1 of 1 written on it, I think. I don't even think I looked at it up close outside of it, like, oh, okay, it's Paul Skeens. But so it really depends. So with that one, there was only that one. But I mean, he's got a ton of rookie cards out there, just in like the different products.
Yeah. What are some tips for like someone like me who's not? I'm not a card collector at all. My brother is. I said, but what's your your tips for someone like me to get started in this?
So the main one, and I think it's kind of the advice that everybody gives across the board, is collect what you like. Find the thing that you like and stick with that. Don't get caught up in the hype of, the new prospect or because that can end so badly. I mean, look at what happened with Wander Franco. I mean, it's
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, people who collected nothing but his cards ended up with
nothing.
Yeah. So collect what you like. That's the main one. And don't dig yourself in a hole. Just have fun with it. Don't look at it as an investment. It's a hobby. And if you're not having fun, then it's no longer a hobby.
Right. I gotta say, something that you do that's super smart, and I wish other people would do the same, especially me as well when I'm buying hats. It's setting up a different account, right? Once it runs out, it runs out. That's it. I'm not buying anything until I replenish these funds. That's such a simple thing, and yet most of us don't follow that rule.
Mm-hmm. I had to. I mean, because I make jokes all the time, and like people joke and give my husband a hard time about it because he's they're like, oh, she spends all the money, she spends all you guys' money on cards, and we make a joke out of it. But when I first started, I mean, we were spending a lot on cards, and it was like you don't even think about it. Because it's not like you're spending it all in one lump sum. It's not like a trip to the grocery store. It's like gradually over a month, and then you look back and you're like, "Wait, where did all the money go?"
Yeah.
So
because you go to one store, you pick up a box here or a pack, and then you go to another store. It's like, "Ooh, let me just put one on."
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
So I had to, because I was like, okay, this is it. Once it gets out of control, like I said, it's no longer fun. It's no longer a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to bring it back to.
Do you remember that moment that you're like, oh, we got to stop? Because I know I remember the moment that I was like, oof, I got like 6 boxes here. I probably should stop for a while.
It wasn't like a specific moment. It was just like I think we were in a shop somewhere, and like the box that we were looking at on the shelf, the same box that we had bought like 6 months prior, it had already like almost tripled in value. And I was still like, well, I don't see what the problem is. Like, we bought this 6 months ago. Why can't we buy it now? And my husband's looking at me like, because we only paid $70 for it then. And now it's, over $300. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of like, oh, well, maybe I need to dial it back a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I get that. So.
Dang. Well, now I wish I was close to you, because now I'm curious to know. Like,
look at it. You got her going. You know
what? Like, I forgot I had this box. Okay, question. This Charles Barkley card, right? What does this 175 on the back mean?
That's just, is it like a big number? I can't. Yeah, I think that's just the number, like the number in the set. Like,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah, that one
No.
is more like that one looks like a base card, I think. So there's a checklist, and that's just what number it is on the checklist.
That's interesting. I've got a bunch of my favorite football team. I'm a huge Denver Broncos fan, so I've got some.
I mean, what? Good for
I've got
you.
two Steve Atwater. I mean, these are like I've got two Steve Atwater cards. I know I'm never gonna get rid of my Denver Broncos cards, but like
Of
some of
course.
this NBA stuff I'm gonna go through.
I'm right there. I thought I had some on my desk, but I'm a Shannon Sharp collector, so I have tons of Bronco cards.
Oh my gosh, I love
Mhm.
Shannon Sharp.
I
I'm
do
about to
too.
leave the conversation. Y'all can just keep
No.
going, here now.
I did find his jersey from someone who I felt like was under. I mean, I bought it for $20. I feel like it's worth way more than that.
Yeah.
But I
Girlfriend,
love.
but you bought it for 20. That's a good thing for
Oh,
you.
stop. I mean, no, it's great for me. Yeah, but I'm like, this thing should have been like 10 grand.
Get out of here.
And so yeah, no, I wouldn't comment. No, I'm definitely not a card collector. I don't even remember having this box, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to go through it later. Now, this conversation probably
We'll continue offline.
put me at my sixth thing that I'm gonna start
Oh,
collecting.
great. Listen. You tell your fiance it was not my fault. This has nothing to do with me, so he cannot blame me for this one.
He
All
might.
you. Great. All right, I got a
Anytime,
couple. Go ahead.
sorry, anytime I can add to the ranks of like female card collectors, I'm like, but it's fun. We have a lot of fun.
Bad influence.
Mhm.
This is
She's
fun.
gonna start. Watch. She's gonna like maybe I should think about this.
I'm not even kidding. I remember I had this from when I lived in Texas, and then I moved out here, and then like my priorities changed. I switched from cards to pins, I guess, because I didn't start collecting pins till I moved out here. So
Just wait. This is what's gonna happen. I can tell already. She's
this
gonna go to sporting
conversation
events.
needed to happen. We needed to
Yeah.
find our girl. So
Right.
we
So
found her.
that's what I'm saying. But now you're gonna be like, I'm going to the ballpark. Maybe I should pick up a
No.
card set.
I've got an unopened pack here from 2008 to 2009. So I'm gonna. I don't know. I feel like.
You know what? You should do a video on it.
Would you open something like this? Like you don't open cards, old cards. You know what? Let me hold on. Settings. Hold on.
I would. Why not?
Is this better? Would you open something like this?
Yeah. I'd have to look and see.
Wait, that one says, is that Derrick Rose right there in the middle? Top middle? That is Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I mean, I'd open it. That's
Dude, you could probably have an autographed card in there and you don't even know it.
yeah. You just have to look up the checklist for it because off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that's in it. But it would still be fun either way.
Yeah.
Bad influence right there.
This is what we do.
I know.
Mhm.
I get it. I understand. So, okay. Got a couple more questions for you, and then we're going to go into my favorites, not so famous questions here. So, have you ever made a trade that you regretted?
No.
No.
Mostly just because, like, if I'm trading something with somebody, it's normally because it's a card that they want and that I know that they're going to enjoy. Because I mean, there's no point in having it sit in my collection if I'm not enjoying it. You know?
I got you.
Yeah.
I get it. I can understand that.
Yeah.
What is the one thing or a couple of things that you wish people understood more about card collecting?
So for some reason, there's this narrative that the card collector is just like an older middle-aged man, and that's it. And that could not be further from the case. I mean, it's people of all ages. Now there are a lot of older men. There are not a lot of women, but I mean it's growing. That's really the one big thing is just this this idea of what a card collector looks like.
It's a big misconception.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you're going to have another woman that's going to start collecting, so
Start recollecting.
here we go. Oh, great. That's awesome.
Literally, when we were having this conversation, I was like, where is that box of cards? I know, like, I have it from Texas still. I was like, for a minute, I was like, did I leave it in Texas? But I was like, no, I know I brought it. And I'm not even kidding. I moved out here and, like, just priorities for me changed. And now I'm like, God knew I needed to.
Did your fiance find that for you and then handed it to you?
Yeah, I texted him while we were having.
I knew it.
Him. I was like, "Hey, like," and we have like an entertainment, like a thing for the TV in the living room. And I was like, "Can you check one of the little doors and see if my box of cards is in there?" And I don't know if you guys heard him open the door, but he brought it. And I know I've got a few baseball boxes. And then a box from '94 during the baseball strike that's like still not open, and I don't know if I ever want to open it. So
it's probably worth some good money down there.
Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't call myself a collector because I forgot I had all this.
You just you rekindled your love for collecting now, thanks to Ashley.
This is a fun conversation.
Awesome, Ashley. Is there anything that we haven't asked? Anything that you want to mention or anything like that, as far as like, because I'll be honest with you, there's one question actually. When you go to, like you say, you go to these events, like what's your mindset? Like what's your process of like when you go to these events to go look for cards?
I wish I could say that there was one. It's just I walk in the door and just make a beeline for like the first box and then just work my way around.
So there is a process. You just like, yep, there it is. Here's I'm pointing at it. That's where I'm going.
Yep. Now for like my husband, he's more of the social butterfly. So he wants to, stop and talk to people and that kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here beside him like,
look, leave me alone. I'm looking.
Yeah.
See, I'm the other way around. Like I will talk to someone.
Would you say that this is like your quickest way, like the stuff that's back here, this is your quickest way to learn about a player that you didn't really know a lot about of when you find their card? Or like you take a look at their stats in the back, you do additional research, or is it like, if it's a player that you don't really care for, you just, you read the back, or do you just, it looks like a cool card from the front, and then you just keep it?
It just depends. Mostly it's just looking at the card from the front because like, a lot of the players are like the players that we already know about. So like all of the players that I collect, a lot of their careers they're done, Yeah. So you kind of have an idea of that sort of thing. But I mean, there are people who do read every single thing on the back.
Yeah.
My attention span just isn't there for it.
I feel it.
Same
really
here.
cool.
Like, I don't know if I could just sit there and just be like, just I'm more of a like, teach you, and then I'll retain that. We'll go from there. So, all right, Ashley, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first question is actually, you know what? We never asked this question. What are your favorite teams?
Okay, so for baseball, it's the Braves.
Okay.
For basketball, it's the Bucks. And for football, it's the 49ers.
Okay.
You went all over the country.
Yep, all over the place. Like, so growing up, like I didn't grow up in a sports household. My dad watched 2 sports, and that was college football and NASCAR. He never cut anything else on. So when I started collecting and I had to figure out who to collect, it was just kind of like, oh, well, like I kind of really like this thing I saw about this player. So I'm going to, like with Giannis on the Bucks, it was like a video I saw him doing wrestling moves on their mascot. And I was like, okay, I pick him.
You.
Yeah. I'm gonna collect your stuff now. And then like with, except for with baseball, because I mean it's just, where we live at, it's just that's who it is.
It's the only team right here. Yeah. Closer to where I'm at, it's either Braves or Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
There is no in between. Which, my team is Cleveland, when Cleveland plays one of those teams, I'm blacked out in this area, which is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Blackouts.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're going to the ballpark. Where you and your family are going to the ballpark, right? You guys are hanging out. And then you're about to go get your food, right? The concessions. What is your food and your drink of choice?
See, that's a little tough because we have 4 kids between the ages of 3 and 15. So it's whatever is going to be like the easiest to hold on to. Like whatever it's going to be the easiest to carry 4 of. But mostly it's just like one of those big fountain cokes and nachos. I love nachos. I could eat nachos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Jalapenos on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
All the time.
You gotta have jalapenos on nachos. I mean, come on now. So, all right. What was your first job?
Working at Subway.
Oh my God, I worked at Subway. I managed a Subway.
Yep. Worked at Subway after school.
Yep. Yeah.
My dad hated it because I'd come home smelling like onions every day.
For the longest time, I could not eat Subway because I worked there, and I just couldn't do it. I'm easing my way. My wife the other day, we're actually having this conversation. My wife's like, "I know you don't like Subway, but can we go to Subway?" I was like, "I guess."
Yeah.
So I get it. Cake or pie?
Oh, that's a tough one. I gotta go pie.
I asked this question even though it's like, what was the last song that you listened to? Usually it's downloaded, but do we download songs anymore? So what's the last song you listened to?
I'm trying to think because I just listened like a couple of hours ago. Like a Stone, Audio Slave, I think is what it was.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Strangest things you've ever eaten?
I don't know. See, that that question's kind of tough because like to me it's not strange, but to like other people it might be.
To you, what's the strangest things to you?
Maybe alligator or raccoon, something like that.
I've had alligator.
Yeah.
I've had alligator bites.
Yeah.
Actually, not bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If you were to get a boat, what would you name it?
A boat? Oh, I don't know.
This one stumps everybody all the time.
Yeah, it's tough because both me and my daughter get very, 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 very motion sick. So,
yeah. So no boat for you.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to read the side of it because it would just be covered in.
Oh no!
Yeah, it would just not be good.
It would be a horror show. They're like, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, couple more. First celebrity crush.
Harrison Ford, and it's still Harrison Ford. Between Indiana Jones and Han Solo, it's Harrison Ford. The whole time.
What? That is not a bad one. I mean, it's Han Solo, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. What was your favorite Halloween costume?
Honestly, I think it was like it was recently, a couple of years ago. Me, my husband, and my son, my youngest son, we dressed up as the characters from Bob's Burgers. So I was Linda, he was Bob, and my son was Louise.
That's so cute.
Cool. That's cool. That was good.
Favorite.
All right, 2 more questions. In your opinion, what is the most boring sport?
Golf.
Everyone.
You and me. You and me right there.
It's golf.
Yeah.
If I want to take a nap, let's put some golf on.
Yeah.
Although, like I said, I've been talking to this to my couple of my friends. The golf league, that digital one with Tiger Woods, that's actually not bad. I would actually get into that. That's not that bad. All right. Last but not least, what is your spirit animal?
An octopus. Ever since I saw the thing about sometimes they just go up and like punch fish just for the heck of it. I was like, I feel that.
Wait, I
You're
love
like,
that.
Yeah.
I'm feeling. I like that. It's like, you know what? Pop.
Yeah, they'll just go up and punch them out of spite for no reason, just because.
That's funny.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's funny. I like that. Ashley, thank you so much for doing this. We had a blast. We learned a lot, obviously. You educated us, and then someone is now rekindling her love for card collecting again. So you might have, a friend in the collecting world here pretty soon. So
That I completely forgot about. I
Oh,
completely
God.
forgot about this box.
We're bad influences on each other. To see how that goes. Where can people find you on socials?
Just that Junk Wax Queen on Twitter. I
Mhm.
kind of avoid the others because it's a lot to manage. I don't know how y'all do it.
You're talking to two people that here that have various social medias.
Yeah, no, I know. I scouted them out earlier, and I was like, how do they do it? How do they all of them?
Oh, trust me, I know. I literally have to like post things like at certain times of the day, schedule them and things like that. So it's tons of fun. So make sure you guys following her. I will put the link so that way you guys are able to follow her. Make sure you guys following City Food Girl as well as the Data Chronicles. We are on all socials, kinda. But make sure you guys catch us on YouTube. Have you fixed your YouTube channel? Like, are you up to date on YouTube?
Yeah. So I would definitely say in order: Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube.
There you go. For me, it would be YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. So there you go. And then again, one more time, make sure you guys 9:00 Eastern time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Data Chronicles Sports Show. We'll talk all sports, maybe some trivia, maybe some conspiracy theories. I don't know. Bring your tinfoil hat, and then we'll see what happens. We will see you guys on the next episode.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Kelly Robinson, the Minor League Nerd. My YouTube channel explores the history of minor league baseball teams. More than just stats, we delve into team lineage, sharing stories from current franchises to obscure one-year wonders.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey everyone, it's Eric from the great state of Kansas.
This is Johnny from the New Orleans Baby Cakes Memorial Museum.
And we are the Earn Fun Average podcast,
where we talk to a variety of guests about their love of baseball and have fun doing it.
America, lower your standards.
Average is what we do best.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball. So get on the site and find a team near you today.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series. And in every episode, I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at curvedbrimmedia.com.